With the president as our candidate, our job was really half done because he had an electoral base, a base he has kept for a long time. And therefore, those people were the people who you needed to turn out rather than to persuade. You knew that they were going to vote Buhari and they were going to vote APC. Not just his candidacy, but his base and his electoral track record, but also in his own commitment. And if you look at what he did in 49 days, essentially traversing 36 states. Some people were suggesting to him that he should just do some states, but he said, no, I'm going all the 36 states. Anybody who doesn't have the strength should stay behind at home.
He's a leader that brings to the table what is absent within an electoral process hitherto in Nigeria. He is a man of integrity. When you say integrity is on, I would say, daily implementation. He doesn't pay lip service to that. Nigeria as a country needs that because we find ourselves, sometimes our moral compasses are skewed. Younger generation are not able to understand what is right and wrong, the difference between personal interest and the interest of the nation. So he is what we need now as we transition into a stronger democracy.
The millions of Nigerians who voted to re-elect me as your president for the next 4 years. The new administration will intensify its efforts in security, restructuring the economy, and fighting corruption. I thank you for your support, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
And I worked as the Director General of the campaign.
Honorable Memamura is my name, Deputy Director General Operations.
My name is Adamu Adamu, the Secretary to the Presidential Campaign Council.
Babatunde Fashola, Director in charge of the Election Planning and Monitoring Directorate.
Nuhu Ribadu, Director in charge of Field Operations.
Well, my name is Ismail Ahmed. I was the Deputy Director in charge of Youth Directorate.
My name is Hadiza Bala Usman, the Director of Contact and Mobilization of the 2019 Presidential Campaign Council of the All Progressives Congress.
Well, we were the better team, without a doubt, and I said that many times. I didn't see how the opposition, that team, could beat us. Really, with all due respect to them, we were just a better side. We were just a better team. We were better prepared, and we responded to every challenge. We anticipated, we planned, we prepared, we checked, we rechecked.
Can I say this alone?
Yes, sir.
We also had a leader and a government and a president and vice president who, by their commitment to their work, had touched the hearts of the Nigerian people. So we were sure that the votes would come.
The broom, which is the symbol of the APC today, was
ACN most visible symbol, because it says it all, that one stick of broom you can easily cut it, but bonded together you cannot. Number two, to build a new Nigeria, you need to sweep away the past, the very dirty past, so that you clean it up and then reconstruct on the basis of new ideas.
Underpinning all of that is a progressive ideology, a government and a party that seeks to do the greatest good to the greatest possible number with the most limited of resources. And that is why one of the proud campaign statements of Mr. President was that his government and his party was doing a lot more with less.
There was a campaign council chaired by the president and numerous other persons involved. Then beyond the campaign council is the directorate, where you have those who acted as staff of the campaign. So you had directors, and then headed by the director general of the campaign, and you had committees all set up by the president. The totality of them constitute what we refer to as the campaign council.
There was a directorate for legal, there was a directorate for mobilization and contact, there was a directorate for women, there was a directorate for people living with disabilities, there was a directorate, I think, for diaspora, there was a directorate, I also think, for security, finance, and so on and so forth.
I ran the situation room in Kano. That's my state. And when the numbers came in, I was expecting the numbers, of course, to come in, and I was expecting the numbers to be high. But when the numbers in Katsina came, we had 1.2. When Bauchi came, and we were at 800,000. When Jigawa came, we were 800,000. When Borno came, we were 800,000. I said, well, okay, now I think this is a blowout. And I think that was when I began to. And then Kaduna came in, was 900,000 plus, even though the gap between us and PDP, about 600,000 for PDP and about 900,000 for us, about 300,000 gap. But I could see, and then Niger was a complete surprise as well. We had Niger, we had about 600,000 votes, which we never had that margin. So when all those numbers started coming in, I was pretty comfortable that we've won the election.
First, the candidate himself. Wonderful product that I said, easy to sell, an honest man, a highly committed person, extremely disciplined, and very much liked by people, and very, very important, very, very critical. The president, from the very beginning, he told us in very clear language, very clear terms, my campaign is not about money. No money. No money to give anybody. It's about the work what we have done. Pass this message. It's about getting honest, genuine Nigerians to come and participate fully.
We didn't have money, but we were able to manage. When PDP was doing 4 billion naira for press, we were doing 300 million. I tell people that not everybody has the story.
One of the things that I know as of today, which I also knew then when I was privileged to be with him, is that President Buhari is passionate about this country. He's very, very passionate. And he believes in the potentials of this country as a great nation.
APC! I assure you that you will not regret.
2015, the other party had been in power for about 16 years. And Nigeria could see that not much has improved in their life. There were deepening levels of corruption, abuse of office, and insecurity. About 28 local governments were no longer accessible, and several other things that were happening at the time. And even a CBA governor was dismissed for raising issues of corruption and diversion of money from the public treasury.
Nobody expected that we would win. It was the first time in the history of Nigeria that you were transferring power from the government in power to the opposition. They never knew the opposition never knew they would win. And there were so many factors involved. Everybody is claiming glory after God. I did it. But it doesn't really matter. What mattered was that at that time, a lot of us were more determined.
It is now history that for the first time in Nigeria, you had about 4 parties coming together to form, not to form alliance, but to dissolve themselves and merge to form one mega party, which is now the All Progressive Congress.
It was quite, I'll say, an interesting time in our democracy for us to have that. And 2019 we were in office, so it was more to do with what have you done. 2015 is what are you going to do. What we saw in 2015 had a lot of ethnic and religious colorations, but for 2019 we've seen 2 people come up from a particular region and being from the same religion have contested an election and one person has won. So you can see evidently it's not across religious and ethnic lines, and that is what we had in 2015, and hitherto that has always been what was on the table, having 2 leaders from different regions and different religious groups coming to contest against each other. For 2019 it was a clear what do Nigerians want as relates to improving the state of the nation, as it relates to the economy, as it relates to insecurity.
I recall that some people were banking on a 20-year cycle change for Nigeria, but the hurricane that Buhari is, clearly, those myths and permutations didn't work in his case.
It's a sign that we are getting matured in the way we manage our elections. I believe that the next ones will even be better than 2019. So far, it looks like nobody, I don't think anyone, including even the opposition, are coming to say, never, we'll never agree or we'll never allow it. Even those who have lost, and both sides have lost. The ruling party also lost very critical seats, a lot of it. And people are just waiting for the court, the judiciary, the justice process to run its course. But there is a general satisfaction that it's a massive improvement in what we have had in the past.
We may say we are not where we should be. Yes, we are not. I would say yes as well. We are not. But we shouldn't condemn ourselves outrightly. We can do better, yes. Democracy is not a destination. Democracy is a process. It's a process that is self-refining on its own.
This nation must sustain the democratic culture that has already been established. But another thing is the parties must also start doing internal democracy. Without that democracy at the lower level, this one will be meaningless.